Welcome to Pats Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. This is our episode for October 11th, 2022.
Loose in front, great save by keeper as he just robbed Nolan Ritchie, point blank. Here's Michaels for the net, shoots, bad save, rebound in front, they score! Alexander Suzilev, his second of the night. Al left side, throws it across the slot for Bedard. Down low, Vallis to Bedard, score! Great passing play right there as Bedard outweights the defender, gets it down low for Vallis, back to Bedard.
All right, Kevin, we're a little late this week, but there's lots to talk about. We talked about the Pats hoping, needing to do some trades. Well, we've got a couple, so let's jump right into it. First, Sam Aremba from Seattle for 3 picks. That's a lot. He's highly touted. He put up amazing stats in Bantam here in Regina. But he was kind of down the depth chart in Seattle on a really strong team last year. Only put up 4 goals. So with him being 17, this is a long-term kind of trade. What are your thoughts?
The more I see it, the more I think about it, the more I actually like the trade. I know they gave up a lot, a first, a second, and a third, but the potential is there. If he can get any of his Bantam scoring prowess back or get it rejuvenated or whatever, it could be a big win for the Pats. And by the time he's 19, 2 years down the road, all these 17-year-olds they have now, like Howe and well, actually, and Michaels and 18-year-olds that are going to be 19, like Val, it's like the guys are going to be older. It could turn into a pretty good team, or if they have to, they can maybe flip him for other assets down the road.
Definitely.
But I do like the trade. I like the fact that he's got some size and he looks like he's got some wheels. I wanted to get it off the schneid and get a goal soon.
Yeah, just get that monkey off his back. Yeah.
At home. He needs to score at home and have his brother Tristan freak out for him.
Yeah. Yeah, so speaking of those Bantam stats, 75 goals in 31 games. And then another 58 assists. So
that's some pretty big numbers. Big numbers.
That's a record, I believe, in the Bantam.
Yes, Regina records, yeah.
Yeah, so him and Brady Burney, now of Swift Current, just tore it up that year.
Oh, yeah.
Even as an underager, he had 26 goals in 27 games.
I never paid that close of attention, but yeah, he had the numbers. He sounds like he was a sniper.
Wow. And he can dish it too, apparently.
Yeah.
So then today, Tanner Brown from Red Deer, they had a logjam of 20s after Ben King got returned to them. So the Pats made a move to pick up another 20.
A veteran defenseman for a couple picks. I don't mind the trade. A 4th in 24 and a 5th in 23. It's a lot of picks. 5 picks for 2 guys, but he's going to shore up the defense. He's a veteran that's played. He played for Winnipeg, so he's got some playoff experience, and he was playing in Red Deer, so I guess he's only got 5 games there, but he's got some winning in his blood. Something the Pats definitely need on the back end.
And he played a full season in Vancouver, and then half season with Vancouver, a full season split between Vancouver and Winnipeg there, and a little stint with Red Deer here. So yeah, definitely veteran experience on the back end. That really just comes down to they aren't maybe not happy with the young guys, but they want some veteran presence, more veteran experience on the back end.
Oh, for sure. He's got 6 points in 5 games with Red Deer. 5 of those points are on the power play. He's not really known for a point guy. He's only got 47 career points, but five power play points in 5 games this year. That's pretty impressive numbers from a defenseman that's not known for the points.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get the opportunity here.
Yeah, definitely. I think he'll be on that PP2 unit. Maybe him and Feist. Maybe he'll be displacing Feist on that spot for now. See how things going.
Yeah, it's possible.
So that really puts another wrench into the 20-year-old situation. We had 4, now we got 5. Brooke is still hurt, and he is still listed as of Tuesday, week to week.
He's week to week, yeah. And Dubinsky is, according to the report, he's coming back from injury. So
So that's good news there.
that's good news there. So that leaves Bateman, Brown, Dubinsky, and McInnes.
McInnes. Yeah.
And tomorrow, the 12th, tomorrow's the 12th. Yeah,
Yep.
tomorrow's the 12th, and that's the overage deadline. I
Yeah,
think
so
it's noon. So
they're going to have to make a decision on at least one. They get to push back the decision on Brooke till he comes back.
yeah, they get 10 days from the time he returns to make
Yeah.
a decision with him.
So it's almost looking like McInnes is the odd man out. He's struggled.
I would say so. He's got a 6 goals against average, and yeah, not a very good save percentage. That's not what you need from a 20-year-old.
No. And you look at how Sim and Keeper have played.
Sim and Keeper have, I think they've won either 1A, 1B starting jobs, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see McInnes looking somewhere else, or someone looking at him, maybe taking a chance on the 20-year-old.
For sure. I mean, that could lead us right into the first game this week. Brandon, the story of the game was Matthew Keeper.
By miles, he was amazing.
Yeah, that was possibly his best game as a Pat.
I would say by far.
So, I mean, I missed, I don't know, almost the first half of the game. Totally forgot 6 p.m. start. So, but I went back, watched a little bit of the highlights, and what I did see the second half, they got a little lucky. Brandon hit quite a few posts.
Yeah, at least 4 or 5 from what I could tell from the video.
It wasn't the prettiest game. It's one of those greasy road games, but hey, they came out of 2 points.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if it wasn't for a keeper, it could have been a massacre.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, the penalty kill's been solid lately.
Oh, definitely. It's one of their strong suits so far this year.
Yeah.
It's 82.1% on the season, which is way better than 70-ish that they were for most of the season last year.
Yeah, they're 8th overall in the league this year right now.
I know there's still 60 games left, but if they could keep around 80%, that'd be great.
Yeah. And I think it was Brad Haroff. He talked about it. You know, the younger guys were getting some experience on the penalty kill last year, and now they're getting a lot more this year. So they kind of maybe have that experience, know what they're doing now, and it's working out for them.
Yeah, Michaels and Howe and those guys they're all over the penalty kills. It's pretty impressive to see. I'd like to see a couple more of the younger guys getting out there, but the younger guys are the main guys, so it's pretty hard to really get more younger guys out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a Vaughn or whatever like that, but that'll be next year for him.
Yeah,
or to them, I guess both of them.
Yeah, like you said, the Howe and the Michaels, they got experience last year, and maybe that's kind of maybe why the penalty kill was a little rough last year, and now it's improved with them getting that experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Then leading into Winnipeg, the Pats have struggled with Winnipeg. They haven't won yet since the team has moved to Winnipeg. What's the record there, Kevin?
Since the Ice moved to Winnipeg, the Pats are a big 0-15 1-1 against the Ice. That's not very good.
Not at all. And we've seen what Winnipeg did to us last year. It was rough, some rough games. But Friday wasn't terrible. The Pats didn't look good to start, but they kept it reasonable. They kind of limited Winnipeg's grade A scoring chances.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
They didn't generate much.
Yeah, they got 35 shots. The 5-2 score was kind of, I don't know, it didn't really show the true game. Like it could have been way worse, but it could have been way closer. You know what I
Definitely.
mean?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for keeper making a few key saves, it could have been a lot closer. I don't know. It's just
Yeah, like there's
it's
some
it's frustrating.
yeah, like you think about the goals that the Pats gave up. The first one on a deflection, keeper was screened as well. Is a tough one.
It just snuck in.
Yeah, just snuck in that far post. Then the second one,
Still don't know what happened there. Keeper was
yeah,
either trying to cover it or is trying to pass it to a defenseman. I don't know what happened, and he basically gave it right to Peterson for an easy peasy goal,
yeah,
shorthanded.
maybe he thought the whistle was gonna go because the
Yeah,
first ice skater skated by, and he thought, okay, well, they're gonna blow the whistle, and they didn't. So it was ugly,
it
but
was it was ugly. A pass right to him.
yeah. And then the
uh,
third goal, Aremba just blows the tire right
Blew
in
a
the slot.
tire. And Zlotty had a wide open scoring chance, and he made no mistake.
Yeah. And then the fourth one, just Pats weren't ready in the third period, and they just jam home a goal on the side there.
That seems to be a key thing for the Pats this year, allowing goals early in periods or early in the game. It's bizarre how many times it's happened this year. It's like 4 or 5
Yeah.
at least, like within the first minute or less of a game or a period. It's pretty wild.
It was even last year, too. I remember Matt and I discussing that many times. Either giving up a goal right off the bat or real late in the period.
Yeah, I remember last year with a whole bunch of the late goals, taking
Yeah.
a cheap penalty at the end and costing the Pats points
So
multiple
that's the
times.
goals they gave up.
Yeah,
But they had many chances. First, the Howe post, and then the Bedard
the
rebound.
Hauser glove save,
Yeah.
the unbelievable glove save. Like
Yeah.
holy man.
Then there was the goal. I don't know who scored it or didn't score, but just after the buzzer, right before the end of the second.
Yeah,
If
just as
that
the
goes
buzzer
in,
went. Yeah,
yeah. If that goes in, it's 2-1 going to the third period, and that's maybe a different game.
yeah. But it doesn't happen,
It
and
doesn't happen.
Ty Nash sealed the game with a couple seconds left.
Yeah. But I mean, as poorly as they did play, they were with Winnipeg.
They can play with Winnipeg,
Yeah,
which is nice. Hopefully, that means that it can turn into a win or two here coming up.
definitely.
Hopefully, they need to beat Winnipeg one of these times soon, just to
Yeah,
get
soon.
get the zero off the scoreboard or off the win loss record board.
Yeah. I think they kind of took some of that momentum into the Swift Current game, though. They
I agree.
they came out, looked really good in the first half of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
But then
Yeah, go ahead.
but then they kind of trailed off, let Swift Current get back in the game, and it was a little tighter than it should have been.
You got to get credit. They got themselves a pretty good top end group, like with Philmon, Ward, Pickering on defense, Davies. So the Pats have to learn to not let the foot off the gas or whatever you want to say, because if they would have continued playing like they did in the first half of the game, it wouldn't have been a 4-3 final.
No,
I don't think
definitely not.
anyway.
No. And Howe mentioned after the game, he thinks the two fights kind of got the momentum back to Swift Current.
That's possible because they were fights that seemed a little bit closer than they could have been or should have been on the fight. I'm not a fight expert or anything like that, but the Barnett Davies fight was pretty good scrap. And no, it was Barnett and Vidson, and then Davies fought McNutt.
Yeah.
And that one I think might have really turned it because McNutt is known for being a tough guy, and Davies held in there.
Well.
And didn't fare. Davies held in pretty good, and McNutt didn't fare too well in that fight.
Yeah.
It's
But
weird seeing two fights in a game.
I know, right?
It's pretty wild, actually,
And that game
especially
was a little
nowadays.
chippy.
It was. It
Yeah.
definitely was. They seem to be keying on Bedard, and Bedard's not letting up. He's actually throwing hits and stuff like that too.
Man, he ran over that one guy. The
Yeah,
guy, I don't remember which D man it was, but
I can't remember.
he knocked the puck off Bedard's stick, but Bedard was still in stride and just literally ran through him.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was a great hit. But even after the game, Paddock was talking about the skill Bedard, Suzdalev, as Suzdalev's tried the lacrosse goal. And
Yeah,
he's
but Bedard with that between the legs shot that just missed the net, and then Suzdalev not too long after that tried the lacrosse Michigan Mike Leg Zegras or whatever you want to call it goal.
yeah.
And it's
And
almost like Dick knew it was coming because he had the blocker up there like almost automatically. It was pretty wild.
and the defenseman like slashed his stick. He like came right down.
Yeah, it's almost like he knew what was happening.
Yeah, he was ready for it. It wasn't quickly done. He kind of took his time, so they had ready.
Yeah,
They were ready for him. But yeah, Paddock kind of talked about that, and he said, "Yeah, like if these guys can do it, you can catch somebody snapping, sleeping, and if they can do that and execute that, then he's all for it." Like,
yeah, might as well. Hey, if you can do it, do it.
and
Why
yeah,
not?
like you think maybe with John Paddock being an older guy, there's that hockey culture out there. You know, lots of people don't want to see that kind of stuff. You know, especially the older crowd. But
But
he's
but
all for it.
you have to adapt. You can't just
Yeah,
have the old school crash and bang goals or the pretty tic tac toe all the time. Why not do the Michigan or whatever you want to call it, or the flip it over the net and try to bat it in, that kind of
yeah,
stuff, or flip it off the goalie? Why not? A goal's a goal.
yeah. Any way you can get in the net, right?
And with the social media and stuff like that, if it's a pretty goal, it'll gain traction somewhere, maybe get more eyeballs on your product.
Definitely. Then Paddock brought up another one of Bedard's kind of move, I guess. It was in the second period, and he just dumped it in, but between his legs, all the way to the far corner. I don't know if you
Oh yeah,
caught that.
I
Yeah,
remember seeing that. Yeah,
and that caught my eye. I was sitting at that end on that night, and Paddock brought it up. He's like, "Who thinks of that stuff on a dump in between your legs, all the way to the far corner? Like, he should dump it in more often." But
yeah. Sometimes, yeah,
yeah,
they do tend to take some long shifts, specific players on the team. But hey,
definitely.
I
So
guess if they have to, or if they're able to, when they only have 11 forwards or 10 forwards, I guess you kind of have to do long shifts.
yeah,
Or
some of them are a little longer, definitely.
and if you do really short shifts, then you really get the lines all discombobulated.
Yeah, but yeah, Paddock was. He almost laughed at that. He was just like, he's kind of wowed, just like, wow, that was interesting.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So with those long shifts, possibly, Bedard's leading the league with 15 points. I mean, he does have 8 games played. Some of the other guys haven't played nearly as much. But
It's
one step,
pretty interesting that multiple teams only played like 4 games,
yeah,
half as many as the Pats.
yeah. But one stat that stands out is his 51 shots on goal.
That's a lot of shots.
Definitely.
That's a lot of shots.
That's basically double the next group of players.
Yeah, other than Lazowski from Saskatoon, he has 32. The next highest is Thorpe with 27. So
Yeah.
it's almost twice as many shots as the third highest in the league. That's
Yeah,
pretty wild.
and they only count the ones that hit the net.
Yeah, of the 51 that actually hit the net, he's probably taken 125
Yeah, attempts.
or
Definitely.
maybe more.
Yeah.
Because there's some games where he attempts at least 15 shots.
For sure.
It's pretty crazy.
And with being out on the ice that long, he has taken some penalties lately.
Yeah,
He-
he's second on the team in penalty minutes. He's got 14 pins. Only
Yeah.
McNutt has more, and he has the two or 10 of those 20 minutes are fights.
yeah.
So if he didn't have those two scraps, Bedard would be leading the team in penalty minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
he is gathering a lot of attention.
and
So
at least he's willing to. Looks like he's
push
willing to
back.
dish. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got some pushback,
Yeah.
and
But
I like that.
if teams can get him off the ice for 2 minutes, that's a win for them.
It'd be a win for them, but most times it's one of their top guys or one of their top defensemen going with them if it's like an offsetting thing. So
If it's offsetting, yeah.
if it's offsetting.
Yeah.
But then if he's off the ice, that means it gives the penalty kill a little bit more time to work, and Tanner Howe can work some magic, and those guys can work some magic and kill some more
Yeah.
penalties.
And he likes to come out of the box looking for a breakaway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, heading into next week, well, I guess this week, we got
now, yeah.
3 games again. Wednesday, PA's in town. Friday, they're at Swift Current. And then Sunday, Lethbridge is in town.
Could be an interesting 3-game series or a 3-game set here.
Yeah.
PA is not looking super great right at the moment. Swift Current will probably be out looking for some revenge, and Lethbridge, they look like they've been hit or miss a little bit this year already. So could be an interesting 3 games.
Definitely. Yeah. Prince Edward's got 2 wins. Swift Current's got 2. Lethbridge is 3-3. But being early, Lethbridge, you said they're missing their goalie for a while.
Yeah, Brian Thompson. He looks like he's out. What is he? What did it say?
There it is. Month to month.
Month to month, which is rough because they got Jared Picklick, who's actually done pretty well in his filling in, but I don't know if he's able to carry the load. He's 2-2 on the season with an .849 save percentage and a .383 goals against average. And their other guy, Harrison Menigan, .346 goals against average, .894 save percentage. So they look like they're doing okay.
Yeah.
But lots of questions with them, I think. They don't look like they score a ton of goals, so could be an interesting game there.
No, they've scored 12 in 6 games.
Yeah, they're not scoring a ton of goals.
No.
And the PA game will be interesting because they've made a couple trades recently.
Yep.
They traded actually quite a few trades recently. They traded Shiloh to Winnipeg, and they traded who did they trade? They acquired Carter Anderson from Red Deer, and they got a Rylan Gould, I think, or Tanner Gould from Tri-City. So they're going to look like a different team when the Pats play them next. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
PA usually plays the Pats pretty well, and Landon Kozer seems to be a Pat killer. He's got 3 goals in 6 games this year, so
there you go.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, at least it's here. PA is always a tough barn to go into and win.
Yeah.
So I predicted 2-1 this week. I hit on it.
Yeah.
3-0 this week.
You're saying 3-0. I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for 3-0, but I'll go with 2-1 because I don't trust Swift Current. There's going to be something with Swift Current in Swift Current, but I think they'll be PA, and I think they beat Lethbridge for sure. I should say for sure. I think they will.
They should beat Lethbridge.
They give me hope. Those 2 games give me hope. The one in Swift Current, it's in Swift Current. You never know with Swift Current.
No, for sure. But if the Pats are going to make the playoffs, they got to pick up some of these wins. Yeah, on these teams that are right around you or below you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So hopefully 2, possibly 3 wins. Be nice to see. That'll be it for this week. We'll see you down at the rink.
Have a good one.